Okay, with Doug and Stacy. I'm Doug.
And I'm Stacy.
And today we're going to talk about homesteaders versus
preppers.
We're taking the video. We followed Homestead of the Big Family, and we're going to answer the questions they gave us. And then we're going to pass the video on over to Danny and Wanda down at Deep South Homestead, okay? So the first question that they asked us is, what is the single biggest thing that gratifies you about your life now versus when we were city slickers, okay? So, what do you got for that? Come on, be quick about it.
Okay, so I would probably say from what we were before and now is we're like more real, you know, more.
What gratifies you?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I know who I am more. I'm more real. I wasn't, everything was about what you had. Let's have, the house. You have to have things in it. You have to have, the up and coming clothes. You have to have, all that.
Okay, and for me, it's just that we're living life now.
Well, that's what I mean. We're real, but we're living.
I had to put it in a little better terms for her. She just woke up. She got a sleepy eye. So we're actually living life now. We're connected to our food. We're connected to the land. We're not in the concrete jungle. We're not working and slaving to pay bills so we can buy more stuff. So we're living life.
But it's what life it really is meant to be.
It's for some people. I mean, you can't. Right. It's a broad statement. Some people, like we, before we were enlightened, enjoyed, that lifestyle, or you think you enjoy that lifestyle. So there's some people that crush it and make money and do what they want to do, but they could never see themselves or even want to participate in what we're doing. So you can't make such a broad statement. A lot of people, if they tried this, slap your hand. A lot of people would like this lifestyle if they tried it, but a lot of people would hate it. So for us.
Well, the thing is we really, we had never done it where you can finally, you can see where everything's coming from, and you can see.
Right. But it's still that's for us. This is the Doug and Stacy experience. So we can only share with you what we know, but we're not saying that like everyone should be doing it, because there's a lot of people.
Not everyone. There's no way everyone would.
Right. And there was a time in our lives when we wouldn't have done it. We were totally engulfed in having fun and living what we thought was life at that moment. So you just live in the moment, do what you can, but for us, we feel at this moment that we're living life. We're breathing it in. We're experiencing it. We're connected to it.
We're earthing.
It's just a lot better.
Yeah. We are becoming one. Well, right.
All right. So now we're going to move on to question numero dos. All right. What do you think is the single biggest threat to society as we know it, and why? I'll let old Sleepy Eyes go first.
Gosh. Well, I think right now.
Don't be trying to steal my what I was going to say. I know you're going there. You got
to
come up with your own. Come up with your own stuff.
What I know he'll say is mine's kind of part of that, but just the different organizations, things.
She's trying to go like this. Different organizations.
No, it's how they're controlling, and you guys know I'm into health and the food and nutrition and all that. So. How they're controlling the food.
Control the food, control the people.
Right. And just everything in the air, everything, and our food, the chemicals, just messing up something good, making something good that you think is healthy and it's not by putting different additives and things in it. So when they control the people, control the population by making them sick, you have to go using the healthcare, the doctors, and it's just like an endless snowball cycle.
So
of sick people.
The big umbrella answer would be government. We feel that the government is the biggest threat to our society. It used to be that the masters would pick the slaves, but now the slaves pick the masters. Okay, so the way government is, we don't want to get political, but you just saw Hillary skate away. Did you know? And I don't know if many of you guys know this. You might, but a year ago there was this Navy officer who had way less emails on his private laptop, and he traveled in and out of the barracks or the controlled area with the laptop, and he got prison time and a fine. Okay, Hillary Clinton just walked away with the full meal deal. They're above the law. And this is just going to keep cascading. We could talk about the police officers and shootings and everything else. Just authority and government is the biggest threat to our society. And that's just pretty much where we're going to leave that. You good with that?
I'm good with that.
She's good with that. All right, now, we were started off as the prepper types.
Yeah, we were big time preppers.
Yep, even at our house there. I mean, it wasn't like we were always that way. It was like 7-10 years maybe ago.
Well, it's always one thing. Whenever, we start something, I mean, you go into it.
I know, but I'm just saying, like in
down.
our first house or when we first got married, that wasn't even on the radar.
No.
I mean, that was after we upgraded and moved to the bigger house.
Yeah, and then we really got into it. Yeah,
I mean,
we got the backpack.
that was way
we got
after
the food.
9/11 and everything. So I don't know what kind of triggered us. Maybe some stupid Glenn Beck stuff or something. That's probably what it was.
Well, we started because you got the backpacks. We did the primitive camping. We would go for days, and
we'd go on the weekends and camp and make sure we could carry
collected all
our weight.
our seeds, so we had the whole acre. We could survive.
We had the
doing our
survival
seeds.
seed tube, that you might have saw on TV back in the day.
We
Collapsible fishing pole. I mean, we were like, we're gonna bug out, and then there was like, man, you could just see all the faults with that. Like if you're gonna bug out, how are you gonna bug out? Because they're gonna close all the roads. That's the first thing they do is close roads, bridges, and overpasses. That's what they did in Katrina. Then they go door to door and
how are you
they
gonna get out to
confiscate
your
your guns.
bug out location?
Yeah, you're not even gonna
roads
get
are
there.
closed.
There are some of you guys who can like stealthily get around. I'm just talking about the average Joe that's thinks he's a prepper and he's got some 5-gallon buckets of rice and beans and quinoa and all this. We did all that stuff. So that average person who's just thinking about some food storage and a possible bug out is not even, you're not going to get there. I see some people on YouTube with their bug out location, and Brad kind of touched on it yesterday. But I'm telling you that unless you have a really serious plan, you probably won't even make it to your bug out location. They're going to shut the roads down so fast. It's going to happen like that, and they want to keep everybody corralled in. So if you're living in a populated area and you think prepping and a bug out location is going to do something for you, you'd probably be better off just hunkering down inside your house and staying quiet and eating your food and bolting the doors in the basement and arming yourself and being ready that way. So that's but we did all that stuff. So we started off kind of like the prepper mentality.
But then it made sense. We did the next step where it's like, why
No.
don't we? What was it?
Come on now, keep it together.
Okay.
We were just like the prepper types, but we never thought of like coming out here what we were doing as far as a prepper mentality, because we kind of left that behind. We were just like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Folks, people have been prepping since the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, listen to this. Or longer than that, I'm
sure.
I mean, you
right,
look at the depression
right.
and all that.
But it's a business. It's a money-making business.
My mentor woman here that lived, an older lady who kind of helped me when we got here, taught me about foraging, and she, taught me to can and just taught me all this stuff. She was a prepper. She's
magazines, all kinds of stuff.
she gave me all the old magazines she had. She's got the root cellar. She's got food stored up. I mean, you can't even imagine. And she's still, every year, she's ready for it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
If you just
she's been prepping into this, and then she shows me. Look at old correspondence, about disaster preparedness courses and all this. We think it's a new thing now, but it's been something that's been going on for a long time.
And every generation thinks they're the last generation. Right. This stuff, please just study your history. It happens all the time. I have a 100-year-old book, and they were talking about the stars falling out of the sky and the printing press being printed, and that was the end times. You know what I mean? Equating it to biblical references, okay? So every generation thinks that same thing.
You never know when it's going to happen.
You don't, but to live in fear is not a good thing, because then you don't live at all. But when we came out here, to live in fear, it means that you do not live at all. Wow, did you like that? Was that profound?
I know, that's good.
It just rolls right off.
That was good.
All right, so when we came out here, it was just about, because Stacy had went to the Czech Institute to get her
Well, I had taken my course on holistic lifestyle coaching.
And then that's what flipped the switch, because we kind of thought we were eating pretty good. You know, we would buy the organic stuff and we were trying to eat pretty good. But then when she had that extra step of knowledge about the food and the preservatives and the GMOs and the blah 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 blah.
Well, just everything about everything. Right. You know, you think you know what's up about, you know, I mean, I have been in the health and fitness field for 30 years.
Right.
And then you go and you think you know what you're doing, and you go.
That's
and
why you always have to be
not what you think.
You always have to be open to learn new stuff.
So
no matter what it is, your religious stuff, your regular mind stuff, your everyday stuff, just try to learn. Don't try to cling to stuff just because. I mean, just search out the facts and do your research.
Don't take what anything you read or say. I mean,
or what was handed down to you. Right. Yeah. So then when we came out here, it was like we could have had a garden at our house and everything.
We did.
But but I mean a big garden. I mean, we could have sustained ourselves there. But then we were into like the population, like there's too many people, too cluttered on top of each other. Systems could fail. So we just thought, man, if we move out to the rural area, we would have more control over our food.
That was the
we would have a lot less population,
right.
a lot less like traffic and stress control, like, you know, that kind of stuff. A lot less working for the man, taxes, feeding the beast, you know, just on down the line, right?
Yeah.
So then when we got here, and then we just, everything started to evolve, you know. So then now our goal is to become so sufficient, you know, like, I don't know if anyone can be like 100% self-sufficient in today's world, but our goal is to be as close to that as possible. That's why we have the rainwater catchment system that we put in, right? So we have water all the time. We also have a pond and we also have a creek. So we have 3 ways that we can get water without even leaving the gates of our property, okay? Then we also have our food system, right? We have our vegetables, we have our herbs, we have our fruits, we have our, you know, all that stuff.
And that's why as homesteaders, you know, you just keep planting the fruits and fruit trees.
Don't overplant, don't overwhelm yourself, but keep your steady pace going.
Different varieties, because one year you're going to have apricots do good,
right.
one year you'll have apricots and peaches, apples and
pears,
peaches or whatever you got. I mean, you just need to keep, you know, trying different things, and some perennials will be good one year, some of them won't.
That's right. And so our food system's closed. Then we have our pollinators, the hummingbirds and the bees, right? So we keep bees for the honey and because they're pollinators. Then we have our fish,
and
right?
honey. Yeah,
we have the honey. And then we have our fish from the pond, so we have a meat source there. Then we have our chickens, our guineas. Our chickens lay eggs, they can hatch the eggs. We have 2 broodies right now that will be hatching pretty soon. So we have a constant supply of eggs and meat. And we also have our sheep that we raise for meat. So our goal is to close our food circle as, you know, as tight as possible so we can be self-sustaining in that regard here.
And we walk our property. I mean, I walk it. I know where all my patches of all my edible, you know, foraging. Yeah.
So like if you're a bug out dude in the prepper mentality and you're in the suburbs, you have to go out and then you're in a new area. So then it's going to take time and effort to forage and find those things. For us, we always walk the property. We know where everything's located.
And we have lots of nuts,
less
trees,
energy.
Hickories, black walnuts. You know, we have, you know, all that too.
Right.
Which is helpful.
So this is just a brief summary of some of the things that could fail as a prepper, some of the things as a homesteader too. I mean, heck, you could grow a garden and be, you know, weather could take out your garden in 2 seconds. You don't even need anything else, right? So, you know, you're just canning your food, you're trying to ferment your food, you're trying to store it up, replenish it.
Dehydrated, right.
Oh, and that's one thing I wanted to talk about. I'm glad you said dehydrated.
Thank you.
If you're a person right now and you're watching this video and you say, oh, Doug and Stacy, that's great. But if you live in the suburbs and you're reliant on, even if you're a homesteader and you're reliant on electricity, right, to run your well pump, or to, you know, if you're in the city and you have, or your air conditioner, right? A lot of you guys are comfy cozy right now while we're sweating, and you're loving that, okay? But I'm just telling you that if the grid goes down, one of the biggest problems, one of the problems of mass deaths is going to be the heat and dehydration, okay? Because like 90-something% of you guys watching this video right now
aren't drinking enough water.
That's right, you're not hydrated, man. And then you're gonna have this new thing of heat, like when it's 100 or 90 or 80 degrees outside, and you're not hydrating yourself and you're not used to this type of heat. Just ask Daniel down in Alabama at Go for Green Living. I mean, we talk, and I mean, it's been 112 degrees there, but they've acclimated themselves to that weather so they could handle it without an air conditioner. It takes some time to acclimate. If you're just thrown out into that weather
Because when we go to
condition,
the air conditioning, it's like,
you freeze it, right? So if you're just thrown and forced into that situation, or any situation where your life could be in jeopardy, right, as far as food, water, or heat and all this, then your body, you're gonna flip out. That's gonna be a huge mental
so
breakdown.
here's a good challenge for you guys. Let's see, can you go without your air conditioning for a few days?
Yeah,
See
turn
if
it off.
You can do it.
Yeah, if you're
And
watching from
drink your
Phoenix
water.
or from Michigan or any of these hot, humid places, just like we're living in.
Florida.
Right. Big Bear, Homestead. Turn your air conditioner off. No fans, no nothing. Couple days, 3-4 days, and just see how it
Or
goes.
get a battery operated fan.
Yeah,
got
we do have
battery
that,
operated
but you
fans.
can't replace your batteries if the grid goes down and the stores are closed. Just think about this kind of stuff. If you have a solar system, you have solar panels and a battery. What if one of your battery or two of your batteries shoots craps? You're not going to be able to even replace those batteries, so you're going to have a system. See, a lot of people think they're going to go off grid and they're going to have this great solar system and it's going to power all their needs. But if something goes down, and then after something goes down, your solar system has a kink in it with a charge controller or a battery or whatever. What if something falls on your solar panel? You can't replace that
And
stuff.
so I guess the thing is just always have backup
Yeah.
for for what you're doing, because you never know.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not able to get this or get this, just know that you're able to do it. And that was a big thing for us, to know that we can do this. I mean, I felt like, I am woman, hear me roar. How many remember Helen Reddy? I am woman, hear me roar.
Right.
Numbers
Now we got
2.
the feminist
Yeah,
movement in here.
no, what to say. So, but really, if you you can do this, you can live, you can survive, you can take care of yourself, you can do this. That's a huge thing right there.
All right. That girl in the lady in Idaho. I forget
terrible.
her name.
Yeah.
Mountain something, but she's watches Dirt Patch. She follows us, but she had unplugged her family. We just had a cloud roll by. Did you notice the darkness? We had she
Darkness?
unplugged. It
That
kind
was
of
a-
clouded up. Is not a good word.
No, that's not a word.
All right. I like to make up words. So they had took the electricity, turned it off for her and her husband and her kid, and they did that experiment, to see how it would go. So you guys try these things.
Yeah, turn off electricity and see if you can
be
do it for a
prepared.
week.
That's another reason why we live the way we do. No matter what, I mean, life is just going to go on for us, unless they're coming to our gates, and then that whole thing goes down. But
But we're
otherwise,
far from the gate, so.
yeah. But otherwise, we're fine. If the whole thing collapses, we'll be sitting here growing our food, drinking our kombuchas, and eating and doing everything just as normal as the day is long. So. Look into too how many people died during the Great Depression that were actually like homesteaders. Okay, look into that. I want you guys to do that. It's your homework assignment. So I want you to think also that just because you're a homesteader doesn't mean that you're gonna make it through some kind of a like Depression era or Dust Bowl area, type thing. So just look in that during the Great Depression. How many population, because remember back then, most people were homesteaders, okay? So just think about that. And then that's it. So we're passing this on to Deep South Homestead over to Danny and Wanda, and here's the questions that we're asking them. We asked them, how would you handle a grid down or SHTF situation if because you're not able to buy flour or sugar at the store, okay? Because I know just in one of their videos I watched, they were talking about their food storage, and he says, they're pretty good on, maintaining themselves, but of course they have to buy sugar and flour and stuff because they can't produce that on the homestead. So that clicked for me for a good question to ask them, okay? And then Stacy can ask them the second question.
If I can read your writing.
It is, it's easy. If Wanda.
If you and Wanda had a bug out, how long would you last?
And now we know
So
that
on
you're
the run, I
hold
guess
on, right? Well, we know you're homesteaders, okay? Just we just want to know if you and Wanda had to bug out. We know you're homesteaders and you don't plan on leaving. We got all that. But if you had to bug out, just in that mentality, how long do you think you and Wanda would last if you had to bug out? Cool beans. So, man, this is a cool opportunity for all the YouTubers to collab on this subject and give you guys some more insight. All the descriptions are down in the Show More tab. so you can go check them out. And here's the other thing, guys. Thanks for hanging with us to the end of the video. We posted a video yesterday. Stacy's upset. You guys,
You're so funny.
you guys have hurt her feelings, okay? We posted a video yesterday about preserving cherry tomatoes with basil, fermenting them to preserve them, and you can, store them. And no one watched the video. And Stacy woke up. She was crying.
You're so funny.
She's having a hard time with it. She's feeling rejected. So you guys, as soon as this video is over, go back and just smash that video and get it caught up. But we think it was just a YouTube glitch or something. I don't know what happened, but we've uploaded the video yesterday in the afternoon, and it's like 180 hits right now. So we know there's a lot more of you guys that care about that. So whatever, just hit that button right now. If actually at the end of this video will be a tab where it shows like, did you miss this video? All you have to do is click that. It'll take you right to the video, or just go to our YouTube channel and hit that video. It was yesterday about fermenting cherry tomatoes with basil.
Yeah.
And let's help
It's
Stacy.
really yummy.
We got to help Stacy recover. She feels rejected, like nobody watched her video. So this is Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. I'm Doug.
I'm Stacy.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya. You will have, and they won't last that long. I mean, I'll eat these in just a couple days. But whenever I can get my produce, it's coming from the garden.